A question was asked whether to use an officer or CCTV surveillance system or both. First of all, we are living in an age where crime is rampant. It is easy to understand that organizations seek to save money any way possible. Decision makers are faced with making choices during security planning between investment in security officers or camera system. It all depends on the nature of the business. Washington, D.C. and its surrounding suburbs in Virginia and Maryland are some of the most watched areas in the country. There are cameras everywhere. Emerging developments in camera technology combined with inexpensive high-speed internet connections makes CCTV coverage better and less expensive technology than ever before. While wages and bill rates for officer service have remained fairly consistent over the past few years, cameras can provide reliable recording that can provide evidence later. It is certainly a plus for having a undeniable coverage recorded. Cameras can be a valuable resource when it comes to documentation of a criminal act and identifying the perpetrators. With the new artificial intelligence, the surveillance camera system software can even effectively interpret motion, sound alarms, alert remote monitoring stations, play messages over a loudspeaker, turn lights on, and much more. This makes them a real alternative in many ways. So these were the pluses. What's about the downsides? When setting up a camera system, did anyone create a plan who will monitor cameras and when? Is video recording being monitored by someone? If not, you won't be able to respond efficiently and effectively to a crime in progress. Safety is the ability to react to the threatening situations in real time. Video recording is a plus, but do recordings solve the immediate problem? The ability to react to a situation in the moment and deter crime before it happens or it is happening? It may be true that CCTV has come a long way, but answer a simple question. Can the cameras get the same feelings as humans when someone or something just isn't right? No, of course not. Cameras do deter some percentage of criminal activity, but cameras cannot escort or ban unauthorized parties from the premises. Cameras cannot take notes from a witness. Cameras cannot call local law enforcement at crime scene. Does the sight of a surveillance camera pointing at a perpetrator can prevent breaking into a building? Absolutely not. As long as the criminal got their face covered, most of them will go ahead with their misdeed. Perhaps most importantly, in high-risk areas, a camera cannot stop a violent criminal act before people are harmed. Cameras fail to deter professional criminals. Cameras do not provide liability reduction provided by an officer. If that was the case, we got cameras at airports and major facilities. Why need a uniformed officer? You know why? A live person to respond with force in the event of a criminal activity to protect the location, assets, people, and interest of the client. We must focus to prevent a crime from happening. A highly trained officer can intervene to stop criminal activity. An experienced on-site officer at a facility is an immediate assistance and service. They can take immediate actions to solve the problems. They can help to safeguard property, employees, and customers. A person can tell a story, whereas recording can provide some basic information. Humans have the intelligence to evaluate the situation and respond accordingly. Cameras record what they see. Officer can provide important details, information of what happened off camera, and access the situation as happening and adjust their response based on the realities of the situation at hand. Officer can provide better understanding of what occurred. Officer have the ability to reduce and prevent the problem. In addition to understanding what and why is something happening, an officer can help avoiding the problem. They can see what is happening and react before it becomes a legal risk or a life-threatening situation. They can see something is going wrong and take immediate steps to prevent it. In case of incident involving violence, shooting, etc., officer can handle the situations. Officer can handle the situations. They can handle the crowd, whether it is a crowd of people, media, or group running from any site or a facility. Officer steps in to minimize the risks associated with these kind of situations. Cameras cannot prevent methods to reduce theft to solutions for limiting violence. Cameras cannot tell what steps to take to prevent loss and risk at clients' site. Cameras cannot tell how to create less worrisome environment. A professional officer can provide the information, expertise, and prevention tools to keep the area safe. Officer can assist with safety in addition to crime prevention. Officer observe and report, including safety concerns witnessed during their patrols. Identifying safety risk in a timely manner can save lives and reduce our business exposure of liability. Most businesses use officer mostly for this reason. Officer is able to respond with force in event of criminal activity. Officer can block a perpetrator path, preventing them from leaving until police arrives. Cameras stop no one. Many facilities got cameras and they understand and realize that significant advantages of having a live person at their premises. Cameras are a valuable tool and serve as an extension to the officer's eyes and ears, but cameras cannot take the place of a professional officer. When it comes to officer on site is a complete game changer. If a criminal approach a facility and sees an officer, there is much stronger crime deterrent of potentially being caught in the act, as opposed to appearing anonymously filmed. Cameras are useful but not a satisfactory replacement. CCTV is a valuable tool in many security facilities. However, it cannot be considered as a replacement for live or on-site officer or security staff protecting location, assets, people, and the interest of the client. Cameras cannot provide protective services. If there are cameras on the premises, let officer monitor them. Let the officer monitor them. Let officer witness and document crimes or attempted crimes. Let them observe, report, and involve local law enforcement where necessary. Recording of a crime is useless if not prevented in real time and police was not involved. We must have human element involved in real time for safety.